Evening, everybody, or should I say afternoon. Icy here. Just want to touch base with a couple of things after a recent event that happened in Washington, D.C. And it's pointing out the hypocrisy that is currently going on within our government, and let me explain why. In regards to January 6th, there were a group of people called the Proud Boys, their leader and vice president. They were being described as white supremacists, which I find ironic since the leader was Hispanic and the second in command was a young black person. So, how the heck can you be a white supremacist if you're black or Latino? Makes no sense. But needless to say, both the leader and the vice president were charged with interfering with the actions of both houses while they were tallying the votes, the electoral votes for the presidency, and they were both given 22 years in prison. So supposedly these people who were not even in D.C. at the time are being charged and placed in prison for 22 years. But there is on video a gentleman by the name of Ray Epps, who was there on January 5th and also on January 6th, who is on video inciting the people to storm the Capitol. And on January 5th, he was shouted down as being a plant by the government, and so he wound up disappearing. But he wound up coming back on January 6th, and he managed to get some people to believe his BS, and they stormed the Capitol. Now, if the Proud Boys who were not there are being charged with interfering with the actions of both houses in regards to that vote, then why isn't Ray Epps being charged with the same exact charge? Now here's the thing. Ray Epps was arrested and he faces between 0 and 6 months in jail. So the Proud Boys who weren't even there in D.C. getting 22 years in prison, while the guy who was in D.C. inciting the people to storm the Capitol, he gets practically nothing, less than 6 months in jail. Now, if you take into account what happened recently, Representative Jamaal Bowman is on video pulling the fire alarm button at the Capitol. And he claims, I was just trying to open the door. You've been going in and out of that door for how many months now? And the fire alarm clearly says, pull fire alarm. So, is this going to put Jamaal Bowman, Representative Jamaal Bowman, in the same category as the two leaders of the Proud Boys by interrupting the actions of the House that were in the process of taking a vote to prevent the government from shutting down? Same exact charge that the Proud Boys had thrown at them and put them in prison for 22 years. So if there is equal justice for all within this country, and not just equal justice for Democrats, then I strongly recommend that the same exact punishment be given to Representative Bowman. He interrupted the actions of the House by pulling a fire alarm and basically setting up a panic. Now, if someone was injured rushing out of the building, he should be held accountable. If someone trips and falls down the stairs and breaks their neck, he should be held accountable. He did this. He did it on video. So, are the American people going to let the double standard continue? Or are they going to go ahead and demand that the same exact punishment be given to him as was given to the two Proud Boys who weren't even in D.C. on January 6th? You decide. Icy out.